greetings everybody, it's Emily from Pages and Ink, and today I will be doing my Top 5 Wednesday video because it is Wednesday. Top 5 Wednesday was started by Ginger Reads Laney on YouTube, and she also has a Goodreads group, which I will put the links to down below. And today's topic is least favorite books in a favorite series. So each of the books I have in this pile aren't necessarily bad, they're just my least favorite in the series, and I will explain my reasonings why. Word of warning, this is probably going to be pretty spoilerish because my reasonings for certain things are probably going to be spoilers for you. So if you see me lift up a book that you have not read and have interest in reading, either mute me till I lift up a different book, or to be very cautious. Totally up to you. I don't want to spoil anything for you because nobody likes to do that. Nobody likes to be spoiled for a book, so just be careful. So coming in at number 5, I have 10th Grade Bleeds by Heather/Zachary Brewer, which is the third book in the Chronicles of Vladimir Todd series. And the reason why this is my least favorite book in the series is because something really kind of painful happens in this book, and that's his best friend Henry kind of turns his back on him for a little bit, and it was really painful for me, especially because in 8th grade I had this period with my best friend at the time where she started hanging out with another one of our friends more often, and I started to feel like I was slowly being replaced, which is probably kind of silly, but I read this book at about that time, I think, and it just reminded me of how I felt like she was kind of turning her back on me, which doesn't necessarily mean that it was true, but we were fighting a lot more, she was spending less time with me, we had less sleepovers, and it just, it kind of hit me in a hard place. And it's also really difficult to see Vlad go through something like that as well, because losing a friend, or even just fighting with your best friend, really sucks, because they're your right hand, they're like an extension of you, and when you're fighting with like an extension of yourself, it just hurts, I don't know if you've ever experienced that situation, but it just sucks. Coming in at number 4, I have Mockingjay from the Hunger Games series, which, if you can see by my necklace and my shirt, I have an obsession with. I also got the 4-pack DVD thing for Easter. Yes, I get presents for Easter because the Easter Bunny loves me. But anyway, and the reasoning for this being my least favorite in the series is because it's so painful. It's so painful. What happens to Finnick? What happens to Peeta? What happens to Prim? It's so painful, and Effie isn't in this book. If you've seen the movies and you know all the stuff that happens, just so you know, if you haven't read the book, Effie isn't in here. And I like that they put her in the movies because she just she belongs there, and she's not in the book, so it drives me nuts. But it was actually a really good decision. Even though they had changed the story, sometimes when you change a story for an adaptation, it's a good decision. And putting Effie in Mockingjay is a fabulous decision, and I'm so happy they made it. But, yeah, it's just heartbreaking. It's also the last book in the series, so that alone is just kind of heartbreaking, because after this, there's nothing else that happens. They did say that I had heard rumors that they were going to make more movies. I'm urging you now, don't do it. You have nothing to base it off of, you will ruin the world, don't do it. Unless Suzanne herself gives you something to use, don't do it. Coming in at number 3, I have Crown of Midnight from Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. And this is my least favorite in the series because it's just... Throne of Glass is what got me into the series, like the first book, Throne of Glass. Heir of Fire introduces one of my favorite characters, Man in Blackbeak, as well as a pretty badass Fae male named Rowan, who becomes a very important character, and Selena's time with him kind of helps her grow a little as a character, and I don't mean because they get into a relationship in Heir of Fire. It's just, he helps her realize some things about her life, about herself, so it's really good. And Queen of Shadows, however heartbreaking, is fantastic. So, by default, this is the least favorite. Also, one very important character dies, and Selena kind of reveals a very dark version of herself, as well as kind of loses one of her loved ones. Well, two of her loved ones, technically, because one of them dies. And then the other one just kind of falls out of her heart because she blames him. Yeah, not a good situation. Coming in at number 2, I have In the Afterlight by Alexandra Bracken, and it's not that I didn't like this book. I love this book. I love this series. It's fantastic. The reason this is my least favorite is because a lot of the characters seem very torn apart. Ruby is dealing with the fact that Jude dies at the end of Neverfade, and it's still really affecting her. She really blames herself. She has nightmares. She starts to see things. She kind of feels like she's losing her mind, and there's like a disconnect between characters that just hurts my soul, and it's also the last book in the series. But this book was really good. This series is really good, and I really do recommend it because it's one of my favorites. And if you guys haven't noticed by the fact I have this shirt, I also have another Mockingjay shirt. I like to make shirts for my favorite book series. I have 2 shirts right now that I need to make, and that is a Gryffindor shirt and a The Darkest Minds shirt, which I'm planning on putting, it's not on this one, it's on The Darkest Minds, but the psi symbol, I plan on putting that there, and then maybe the color on that I think I am on the back, but I don't know how well that'll work. My friend and I have come up with ideas and I can't even think what they were, so I'm just going to put that over there. Coming in at number 1, least favorite book in the favorite series is Blue Lily Lily Blue by Maggie Stiefvater. Of the 3 that is out in the series so far, and Raven King is being released in April, this was my least favorite because it seemed the least eventful, and there wasn't as many interesting things. Like, the Raven Boys introduces characters, it introduces concepts, and it kind of prepares you for things to come. Dream Thieves has magic dream discussions that are awesome. You know, Ronan can pull things from his dreams, make them real, which is so cool. But Blue Lily Lily Blue just kind of fell flat to me. It just wasn't very exciting. I am very excited for The Raven King. I already have it pre-ordered, so ready. But this was my least favorite in the series. So that's all I have for you in this video for today. I will be doing another video in a couple minutes, and I'm sorry that I do most of my videos all in one day. It's largely because either I'm busy or because I'm busy on my days off or the time that I have off. I just kind of want to relax and just sit there and do nothing or work on my knitting because I am making a Gryffindor scarf. And I just finished my mom's Little Mermaid scarf, which sounds really interesting, but it's literally this yarn style called Dragonfly, which is like a purple that fades to like a blue-green color. So, you know, purple is her shell bra thing, and then the green-blue is like ocean water / her tail. So it's really not anything interesting. It was just kind of something that I made for my mom. Anyway, so that is all I have, and I will be doing my book talk for Scorpio Races in a little bit, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, so I will see you guys next time. Happy reading!